It's January 11th. Here is your update about what's going on in the war in Ukraine. I'm sorry for not posting for a few days. I had technical difficulties, but here we are. Let's go. The overall intensity of Russian attacks has markedly decreased, with the number of attacks going down by 50% since the beginning of this winter campaign in October. Some analysts are saying that the winter campaign is over, or culminated at least. I'm not 100% with that assessment, but with 460,000 soldiers in country, I wouldn't go so far. I think that Russia has enough men here right now to continue their offensives, meaning attacks. Their efficacy is something that we can maybe think about, because they seem to be able to lose hundreds of men every day, sometimes over 1,000, without stopping. So what's the success of the winter campaign if it's over? Literally nothing. They gained a few kilometers here and there, but that's it. But with tens of thousands of people dead in this winter campaign, you wouldn't be able to call that success. Given that, let's take a quick look at what's going on the front line. In the north, in the Kharkiv and Luhansk region, the Russian offensive continues in Kupiansk specifically, but with consistent efforts. That's what I'm trying to say, is that there has been consistent effort to push against the line there without any major significant territorial gains. In Donbass, specifically around Avdiivka, the situation has improved for the Ukrainians, and they have been able to fortify their position despite incredible pressure by the Russians. Russians have been losing hundreds, sometimes more than 1,000 soldiers there every single day, but it's just become a symbol of like this entranced nature of the conflict. In Kherson Oblast, in the settlement of Krinky, the Ukrainians have been able to hold on to their bridgehead despite intense bombardment and aerial attacks. The Russians have not been able to penetrate the Ukrainian defenses. In response, Russia has intensified their airstrikes, but due to Ukraine's very solid air defenses, as in the Patriot system, you might remember when they downed like these Ash-334 the other day. Anyways, they have ceased attacks with the Ka-52 attack helicopter and the MiG-24. Additionally, the Ukrainian forces have been bolstered by new boats, crowdfunded and deployed to enhance the operational capabilities of waterways. Pretty much new small boats. The good thing is that Ukraine controls the entire area there. So all the marshes, all the inlets, all the small rivers, etc. So there's no risk of machine gun fire. The only risk is drones and artillery. Ukraine has been continuing their long-range attacks across the battlefield. I'm not going to go into all of that, but I can mention one attack that was on the Saki airfield the other day. I think that's like 6th of January or something, where they killed a bunch of Russians in a command post that was blown up there. The Russians have been lobbing missiles against Ukrainian cities as well, but they've changed tactic from last year. They're not only targeting big civilian infrastructure pieces in Kyiv and other places. Now they're targeting smaller cities that are more distributed. What is incredibly worrying to me, and this is something I talked about in my last video, is the number of ballistic missiles that are entering the theater. Ballistic missiles are incredibly deadly, horrible missiles that are almost impossible to intercept. Ukraine now only has one type of interceptor to intercept these missiles, which is the PAC-3 missile from the Patriot system. That's it. And the PAC-3 is a very limited resource. They only made 200 last year. 200 interceptors. They've been stockpiling them for 10 years. In total, it's 2,000 in existence. That is incredibly worrying, and we only have that. And it's not like we have a bunch of interceptors on like the shelves. When the interceptors are over, they're finished, finito. And no nation on earth is going to dip into their strategic reserves. They're just not. Like nobody in Europe or America, they're not going to do it. So And even if they do, it doesn't matter, because if you outperform the manufacturing of interceptors versus the manufacturing of ballistic missiles, if you make more ballistic missiles than interceptors, all you need to do is lob a bunch of ballistic missiles until your interceptors are over. And then you can just kill people freely without worrying about being intercepted or countered. This is serious shit.